I have a series of questions that have come in from all of our listeners over the last couple of days. And I wanted to go through those and answer some of those questions from a cleaner's perspective, not from the Airbnb host's perspective. All right. So I'm going to throw these questions up here and then we will just answer these one by one and we'll do our best here. Have you ever faced challenging situations with guests and how did your manager and housekeeper resolve them? Yes. So guests are all different. There's many different types of guests as there are Airbnb owners and hosts. And it's weird, but not everybody connects. And so what is a perfect customer to one host is going to be someone else's nightmare. That exact same person, just because personalities are different. And so when you go into the Airbnb business, it's nice to say, "Oh, I only deal with nice people." But the reality is, as a house cleaner, we also have customers that some we get along well and some we don't. And so, one of the things that we have to consider as we are hiring a manager or a house cleaning company as a host is that you don't have to particularly like them. You have to like their work, you have to respect them. You don't have to particularly like them. Now, as a house cleaner, we don't have to particularly like the hosts that we work for either, but we have to respect them and we have to treat their property with respect. And so not liking them doesn't mean we're mean to them. It just means that this is just a job. It's not personal, it's just a job. Our energy is off kilter a little bit. We're not the best fit, but they're providing me a job and I'm providing them a service. And if you keep it a transactional business relationship, everybody can get along. So over the course of being a cleaner, I've been a professional house cleaner for 25 years out in the field. And then I've been training house cleaners for the last 32 years. And so one of the things that I've run into a lot, I've worked with a lot of people I didn't particularly care for. And I've had employees that I didn't particularly care for. I respected them and they did good work and they got paid and I treated them like everyone else, but we don't we don't have to like each other. So right from the very beginning, if you are willing to be open-minded about the types of people that you hire, you can get some really, really good people on your team. And just because your energy might not connect with them doesn't mean they're bad people. The telltale signs and the things that you should look for are things that are off kilter, like they talk smack about you behind your back, or there are issues like stuff's gone missing and we kind of think it's them, but we're not sure, or there are some inconsistencies, like they're supposed to be at a job cleaning and they disappeared for 2 hours of the time and then they clocked back in. Those are like weird things. Okay. So if you have weird things, that requires some extra attention. But just as far as picking people, it's going to come down to, is the person qualified? Can they do the job? Do they do it continuously? Are they reliable? Okay. You know what I mean? So that's an opportunity there. Can you share some tips for hosts on how to establish fair compensation structures for their team? Yes. One of the things that is kind of a profound across the board is, how is your team set up? And if you're an Airbnb host, we talked about not being the only person that does the cleaning, that does the hosting, that lets people in, all those things. So if you have a co-host, that's a really great way to set up your business. This comes in the form of a property manager or also advancing your cleaning company to be the co-host. When you advance your cleaning company to a co-host, what you're doing is this: instead of you, the Airbnb host, hiring out the cleaner and then training them and giving them your worksheet and making sure that they're on time and setting up the list of these are all my bookings and having people take the bookings and then, oh no, someone didn't show up and all those things. If you hire a cleaning company, what you're doing is you're outsourcing all of that part of the job to them. And so they are in essence finding the cleaner for every job. They're making sure that that slot is staffed. They're making sure if something malfunctions, if there's any breakages, if there's any damage, if they have to replace something, all the restocking stuff, instead of you following up with all of those details with that one person, the cleaning company is managing that with the team that they've either outsourced it to or the people that are in their employ. So they're managing a lot of those issues. And so that's a really great opportunity when you're looking for a partner, is this like a property manager that can come on board? And instead of just paying them a flat hourly fee or a flat job fee, what we like to do is we like to take about 25% of the home stay. So if somebody's staying there for 3 days, you would split the cost of the stay. 25% of that goes to that management company or the cleaning company. That way, they have an investment in making sure that the customer is everything is well prepared, that the guests feel welcome, that everything looks shiny and sparkly, that the ambiance is set right, that the lights are a certain way, that there's music, that maybe they light a couple of, electronic candles or whatever it is that you do to make your home a really happy, welcoming place. They'll do all those little tiny fine touches that when your guest walks in, they have that, oh, wow experience, right? You want to make sure that your guests are feeling welcome by you choosing the right business partner. And the business partnership comes down to this, and this is a really key element to know. If you have a business partner that is co-hosting with you, they need to have, it's either a 49 or a 51% decision process. It's never 50-50. 50-50 creates a deadlock. And so at 49-51, somebody has the overriding decision in the event that you both are at a standstill on what to do next. And so if, for example, something has to be done, and I don't know what the decisions are for your business, but they come up every day and you're like, we didn't see that coming. Are you going to make the decision or is your co-host? And so instead of leaving it to chance, or instead of you both coming to do a different agreement, one of you has to have the overruling decision. And so there might be different areas in which you swap off. So for example, someone might say on the landscaping, this particular person in our employ has the 51% overrule. On the linen service, this person has the 51%, because everybody's going to have to make decisions all of the time about your business. And so letting go of 50% or all of the control is one of the key challenges to an Airbnb host. But as soon as you'll get out of your own way and you'll trust the company that you hired, whether it's the cleaner or the management company, what happens is you start to empower them to do what's right for the company. And if they have an invested interest in that, they're always going to go for what's going to get you the 5-star ratings and reviews. So you have to trust the team that you partner with. Is that worth 25% of your night stay? In most cases, yes, it's very well worth it. So that's just something to think about. If you guys have any other questions that come up, if you're watching the replay, leave them in the links below and I will respond to them just as soon as I possibly can, because I want to make sure you guys do get your questions answered. So until then, have a great week and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.